Hey, my name's Robert. I am an applications developer. I give Azure DevOps a 5 stars. Click the link below to learn more. Before we migrated to Azure DevOps, we used several other programs. Jira was one of the big ones we used, but DevOps, the switch we used was mainly for code repositories. So we've used several other code repositories, and I'm familiar with things like GitHub and other places that actually store your code. But when it comes to developing, like in C# specifically, or in Azure.net, ASP.NET frameworks, you cannot beat Microsoft in-house products. If you're developing with a Microsoft product, using something like DevOps for your repository, it's just so seamless. The main reason that we went with DevOps for kind of our code repository and task management is because our stack, our backend is C#, which is a Microsoft language, and then we also host everything that we build all of our web apps on Azure. So the built-in connectors between DevOps and Azure and VS Code and Visual Studio, which are the other products we use to develop, it's just so seamless, opposed to trying to build custom connectors to get into other third-party uh, uh, code repositories. Using the one that Microsoft has created for this exact purpose makes everything so seamless and so easy. And then plus we get the Microsoft support that most of you guys are aware of. I personally had no experience with DevOps before coming into my current role, so it was a bit of a learning curve. I'll admit some of the nuances, but once you've kind of played around with one Microsoft product, you've kind of played around with them all. So things were very intuitive as far as what to click and where to click. And then just coming from the background in software development, and this being a tool really designed for software developers, uh, that kind of made the navigating and learning easy because things were already set up and prepared um, for you to use this tool in development with the kind of agile framework and Scrum Master framework that we're used to. So it plugged in really well into what we were doing. I would say within the first week or two of really using DevOps and getting used to it, I was fully up to speed and able to go about my day-to-day business. Whether or not you do use Microsoft products in your stack, and whether or not you're using Azure databases or Azure hosting, I would still recommend DevOps just because of the security, the convenience, and because of the support you get by using DevOps. We have had no issues with any kind of network connectivity, with DevOps going down or crashing, us not being able to access our repo and access our codes. It allows us to access the codes from really anywhere around the world, and working with a global company, that's really important. So I would highly recommend at least checking out DevOps and seeing if it works into your stack and works into the way that your team develops.